Wow, look at that. Absolutely lovely.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, where have you been? In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a different way to drive the Porsche Taycan. Yeah, a different way. What am I going on about? Well, all will be revealed very shortly. One of the best things about an EV, and they do get a lot of bad press, one of the good things is just how progressive and linear the controls are. Talking about the accelerator and the brake specifically. In the Tacan, it is brilliant. The more you press, the more it pulls, and you're so in control of just how much power you're applying to the car. Unlike, for example, some ICE cars that might be kind of a little bit more on or off. Harder to find the control when it's a mechanical link through to a throttle butterfly or something like that. But the Tacan is brilliant. Now, it is the same story for the brakes as well, provided you are in the regen portion of the braking, i.e. the non-mechanical part of the braking where there's no contact. You're using the motor as a kind of reverse motor to generate power, if you like. That is where the Tacan is absolutely brilliant. I can't say how good it is, how linear the accelerator is, and how linear the brake is. Now, for sure, when you get onto the actual mechanical brakes, carbons or steels, depending on your car, yes, that transition isn't great. I've covered that in another video. More work needs to be done there, and it's just not quite as smooth and progressive maybe as you'd like. It's a bit more binary on or off, for me anyway, certainly when I had it around the track. But if you're living in the regen area, it's wonderfully smooth. Now, for this video, I've activated the pedal cam. Yes, no expense spared. I even hoovered as well, right? But I'm sure most of you driving around in the Tacan right now will be using your right foot to do both the throttle and the brake, which of course is absolutely fine because it's how you will have learned and how you will have been taught. And it is, of course, relatively safe. I say relatively because sometimes, unfortunately, it is the cause of accidents. And that is because you have a situation you see in some videos, unfortunately, of people flying through a shop or a car wash where they thought they'd been pressing the brake, like so, but of course they've been pressing the accelerator and off they go. So it all gets a bit confusing, right? That is a risk when you're driving like this, for sure. Now, there is another way you can drive the Tacan, and it is a wonderful way to drive this car. The first great thing about this is because the pedal layout of the Porsche Taycan is brilliant. It is really central. Now, honestly, if I'm doing one foot driving in this, I kind of struggle a little bit to come up onto the brake, as you can see here from the pedal cam, like so. Why not use this foot, your left foot, which is resting on the footrest normally, to try the brakes? Now, before we do this, don't try this on a road if you've never done it before, because you will probably go through the windscreen, especially if you're used to left foot clutching, right? You'll be putting a lot of power on and you'll stop. Learn off-road, learn in a car park, and it takes time to learn. I'll come on to the best way to learn at the end of this video, but right now we've got some twisties coming up and I can use my left foot for braking. So nice progressive power into here, onto the brake, nice and smoothly, and then you've got both pedals always at your ready. The left foot is over the brake, the right foot is over the throttle, and you have complete control. And it is a wonderfully, beautifully smooth way of driving this car. You can really control the car so precisely. The Tacan especially, I can't get over how precisely you can control this car. It is a wonderful thing. Now, you don't get as much feedback maybe through the chassis. Well, you definitely don't, as you know, the likes of, I always call out McLaren because it's just brilliant, the feedback you get through a McLaren. But we'll go round this roundabout here, get back onto those twisties here, and I'm using the left foot for braking, as you can see right now, with no real problems at all, because I've learnt this, right? I've been doing this for some time. If you're going around a bend too fast, for example, you can just come on to the brake a bit to get more weight over the front, to get that control back into the car. But it is just a wonderful way to drive the Porsche Taycan because everything is so beautifully linear. It just get over this car here, and off we go. It is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Left foot over the brake, right foot over the throttle. And of course, one thing that you want to be careful that you're not doing is just really, it's such a good way to drive this car. Honestly, the pedal out is absolutely perfect. One thing you want to be sure that you do not do in this car is press both the brake and the accelerator at the same time, because weird things are going to happen. Wait, surely regen and power at the same time, is that free energy? Hold on, have I just found something out? No, don't do that, whatever you do. It is something that you're not going to learn quickly if you've never done it before as well. Just bear that in mind. And for that, I have to call back out my earlier point here, which is you need to try this, you need to learn it, you need to experience it off-road in a car park, and take your time to do it. And if you do build up enough confidence, maybe even get to a racetrack or something, or somewhere you can really spend some hours doing this to get familiar with it. But it's a great way to drive an auto, especially around a track, or a sequential car around a track, because you've just got perfect control over the brake, over the throttle at all times. But take time. And if you are trying it on the roads, please do it when it's not busy at first, because you might be stopping abruptly, but you'll be surprised how quickly you can pick it up. And am I teaching you something, or asking you to try a Tacan driving style that could be dangerous? No, I'm asking you to do it safely if you do want to try this. Now, is braking with your left foot something that you've done before? Probably you have, without thinking about it. Have you ever driven a go-kart? I'm pretty sure we all have. You'll know they don't have the ability for you to brake with your right foot, because there's no way you can bring your right foot across easily. So in those, you brake with your left foot. An F1 car, should you ever be privileged enough to drive one, you brake with your left foot. So I'm not teaching you or asking you to do something that is unsafe here. It is very safe, and I find it can be more safe in trickier driving situations, because you always have the left foot ready over the brake. You can bring it, if it's getting a bit scary or a bit tight, bring your left foot over to the brake. It's ready to go, it's ready to stop when you need to, it's ready to apply the brake, versus having to come across, maybe even getting stuck or panicking and making a complete mess of it. But coming back to the Porsche Taycan, it is a brilliant way to drive this car, because of just how linear it is and how smooth you can be round the bends, round the twisties in the roads. Just gently onto the brake whenever you need to, gently onto the throttle, gently off the brake, ease it into a corner. It is a wonderful thing to be able to do in this car, and something that you might quite enjoy if you're out on a track day in one of these. So we're going to go back the way we came here, back to those twisty bits, and just experience again how good a way it is to drive these cars. Now, unfortunately, this is a Saturday afternoon and it is busy, so we can't explore the full capabilities of what it's like to do, but it is fantastic. Now, don't worry about permanently deleting right foot only driving by doing this. You won't. You'll still be able to do it, just like I can still drive a car that has a clutch. No issues at all. It's a new skill that you'll learn that will be separate to all of the other skills, if you like when you're driving in a left-hand drive car, for example, in a foreign country with your gearbox on the right. It's a learned skill that you won't forget, because absolutely there's cars that I own, both Mercs in fact, that I can't left foot brake in because the pedal layout is too far over to the right and it's massively uncomfortable. It's just not possible to do. So yeah, you will be learning something that is new and will sit in parallel to the skills that you already have. So I just wanted to provide that as something to try, something new for you to try if you're bored one day and you've got access to off-road track or a car park or somewhere safe to go and learn this. Try it out, see how you get on. But don't worry, it should be safe, because you're coming onto the brake and the car's going to stop, just make sure that there's nothing behind you, because that first time will probably be quite abrupt. But what a way to drive this car, the Taycan. It's fantastic. Can't fault it. Can't recommend it enough. So that is it for this one. Do stay safe, stay well. See you on the next one, and bye for now.